Hey, everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Advocate Information Highway. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a great topic for today's show in which it is uh, Biden gets rid of the trans ban. Now, um, with the new administration, the military can no longer ban trans people from entering into the military. So that's a great thing. Biden has, to my knowledge, always been about equality. And um, you know, uh, I believe he was also for the with the bathroom bill. You know, these things are improvements, and um, these are good things, and I understand them. And you know, things are going to get done now with the new administration, with the new Congress, especially now that the Democrats have taken back the United States Senate as well. And things will not get completed overnight. It's going to take some time, but I do believe that things will get done. And the other thing is, I mean, this is just my opinion. I think that it's sad that government, all three chambers, the House of Representatives, the United States Senate, the White House, has to create all these different separate bills to fight for equality, in which, like, they would create this one bill for this community, for their, to fight for their equal rights, and then create another bill for another community for their equal rights. And because now everybody's coming out of the woodwork to fight for their equal rights. And I understand all that. And but I just wish that there would come a day that government would just create basically like one big bill, and combine everything into that one big bill that just basically blankets and covers everybody all across the board. And so, but I do understand that that's not how it works. I understand that um, for decades upon decades, government always did things this way. Like they would just create uh, one bill for equal rights for this one community, and then create another bill for equal rights for another community. And I understand that, but I just wish there would come a day that government would just say, we're not doing things like this anymore. We're just going to create one big bill that covers equal rights for everybody all across the board. Because things with all these different bills, things get confusing. It's time consuming and stuff. And so uh I just wish it would be done under, like, just create one big bill that covers everybody all across the board. But then again, it's just not how it works right now. But I hope to see one day that it will be done. It's kind of like when people call like a medical building or any business or whatever, and the automated machine comes up when you make the call, and they say press one for English, press two for this language, press three for another this other language, and so on and so forth. And by the time that you get to the end of the message, people are like, "Oh my God, it's exhausting," you know. And but I understand that that's how businesses do things, and I understand it, but I just wish it would um, just be that, when people come to this country, they would just have to speak, read, write, understand the English language 500,000% perfectly. And just, and just for places to get rid of the parts on their answering machine that would say, press one for English, press two for this language, press three for this other language, and get rid of all that and just have English language, and that's it. You know, And but again, I understand that this is the way that businesses work and stuff. And but it's just, I mean, it's very confusing. It's time consuming and it's frustrating, and that's not how other countries do things, especially with business and stuff like that. And I understand that, but it's just, it's frustrating and stuff. So I just wish that it would just be, you know, English language. That's it. That's the main language of this country. And I just wish it would just be that and not have to press one for English, press two for this language, press three for this other language. You know, I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to be biased or anything. It's just by the time you get to the end of that message, it's just like, oh my God, and then, um, because and here's the other thing to think about, you know, when you have a system like that, when you have to press one for English, press two for this language, and so on and so forth, there's going to be other communities that say, you know what, well, now I want my community's language added to that. And then pretty soon it's going to end up being press 500,000 for this language, press 600,000 for this language. Come on, there's got to be a limit here. You know, there's got to be a time to when people say, you know what, that's it. You know, in America, it's just the English language. We're not going to have all these different other languages and stuff. Done deal. It's going to get out. It's already out of hand, and it's going to get worse if things, don't change for the better. So, but I mean, again, this is just my opinion. Take it or leave it, and um, but I could just see, it's really going to get worse. It really is, and like I said, it's frustrating, time consuming, and stuff like that, and just uh, for people to say like, oh, um, it's going to be offensive if we don't have their language and whatever. No, no, but I understand their point and their view of how they're seeing things, and you know, they're trying to make things more productive, in which they figure, we can have somebody speak this, who speaks and understands this language and whatever, and I understand that, I do, and there's just going to have to come a point to where we got to say that's it, no more, and but anyways, I want to remind all my fans out there to uh, please hit the subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget about my business, my website, which is Advocate Information Highway. And the link to there is awldny.com. You guys could check out all the pages on there. And before I forget, because I also mentioned this on my show, Equality and Rights for All, too, which I just hosted a little while ago on Spreaker.com. We're getting back to fighting for equal rights for the LGBT community. Like I said, um, Biden is for fighting for equal rights for trans people. But there's another thing that I wanted to mention that on Staten Island, New York, in I believe it was the part of the South Shore section of Staten Island, very recently there was a gay couple um, in which one of their neighbors went onto their property screaming homophobic slurs at them, and um, and this neighbor also tried kicking their front door as well. And when the police arrived, the police were, supposedly not helpful to the gay couple, and basically the police department basically dismissed um, the complaint of the gay couple, and also the police department screwed up the paperwork, the filing as well, in which they had wrong information on their paperwork, on their file, on their file. And you can't have that. So I don't know how that happened, but the district attorney is on the case now, and the the person, the neighbor that was screaming the homophobic slurs, the one that kicked in the front door of the gay couple, uh, he got arrested, and that's a good thing. And they're building up the case on him. And personally, I believe that the law should be much, much stricter uh, on these homophobic people. So I'm glad that he got caught. I'm glad that he's being punished, and I just hope they basically throw the book at him. And um, there's a lot of people in support for that gay couple, that this horrible act was done to them. And I'm glad to say that Advocate Information Highway, my business, is also one of the uh, people, one of the groups that's um, supporting that gay couple, and they have our total support. And again, I hope that the book gets thrown at this person, and also the um, the accomplice that was with that person, because even though the accomplice didn't kick in the front door, the accomplice did not scream the homophobic slurs, but at the same time, that accomplice did not do anything to stop this other person. This accomplice also went onto the property of that gay couple. Okay, so um, it's kind of like, I'll give you a perfect example. It's kind of like uh, a person who's driving another person or other people to go to do a bank robbery, and uh, the other person or the other people, once they get to their destination, they leave the car and they go into the bank. They do the robbery, and this other person, this accomplice, uh, is behind the wheel of the getaway car, and 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 helps the other person or the other people to commit an illegal crime of the bank robbery. And if the driver gets caught, the driver would say, well, "I'm not the one that did the bank robbery," but you were still a part of it. You were still an accomplice because you drove the getaway car, right? Well, it's kind of like the same thing of, this guy was with this other person, and even though the other person was the one that did the physical damage of kicking in the door and screaming out homophobic slurs, you did nothing to stop that person. You did nothing to say, you know what, this is wrong. We don't do things like, can't do things like that. Let's just go back home and whatever. He was walking together with this other person. They both went onto the property, you know. So to say, hey, you know what, I'm not the one that did the damage. I'm not the one that screamed the slurs, but you were still with him. You were still there, and you didn't do nothing, you know. So it was kind of like you were the getaway driver and stuff. So you were the accomplice. You're a part of it, and you should be reprimanded too. Not as badly as the one that did the homophobic slurs and who kicked in the door of the gay couple. You know, that person's going to get punished much worse, of course. But still, you stood there. You did nothing to stop him. You knew he was going there to do this damage. So, hey, you're a part of it. And if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. If you could do the crime, you could do the time. Point blank. That's it. So, but anyways, all this nonsense, all this hatred just has to stop. It's enough already. We got enough problems going on. We don't need to have this added to that. So, but anyways, um, you know, again, I just want to remind all my fans out there to please hit the subscribe button. And also, don't forget to go to my website, which is African Information Highway. The link there is awldny.com. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.